Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, cultural enthusiast Dorothy Laurent wins the 2019 Madame Wobduyet title. Concerned Citizens Movement wants its appeal for electoral reform to transcend political party affiliation, and a sister union accuses the WAU of poaching. The details coming up.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
A 55-year-old cultural enthusiast from Petite-Soufrière wins the Madame Wobduyet title. Dorothy Laurent, a caretaker under the Yes We Care program, emerged victorious from a field of 4 contestants. On her way to winning the title, she obtained the prizes for Best in Wobduyet and Best in Creative Creole Fashion. Second place went to Angelica Gasper of Castlebruce, a certified early childhood educator and counselor on the Castlebruce Village Council. Gasper also won Best Talent.
A woman's life is hard. It's like a never-ending belly picture. Lautano son belly ka sonne. La voix das la capale bao. Les only 3 enfants. 3 children as a single mother. And life is hard. You have to ask or sometimes starve. Take long walks to garden across rivers. Life yellow, life yellow, life yellow, life yellow.
Third place went to Teresa Honoré of Portsmouth. Christina Charles of Granby placed 4th. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture has committed to the continued development of the tourism product in Girondel Egliston. Here is Andrea Louis with a report.
The remarks from Minister for Tourism and Culture Robert Tong when he addressed the opening ceremony of the first ever Journée à Paradis on Friday. The event is organized by the Mon Anglais Community Tourism Development Committee with the aim of further promoting Girondel and Egliston as a tourism attraction. 2 new greenhouses were provided by the ministry to help with the plant propagation initiative in the area.
The ministry has also recently completed works as it relates to reconstruction of the site's main display gazebo, office restoration, and repairs to the main facility building. As we speak, the ministry is in the process of procuring much-needed equipment for the site to assist in the day-to-day maintenance. As further complement to these efforts, the government has ensured that the engagement of an NEP team of maintenance officers who, as evident is doing a commendable job in the upkeep of the site. In the near future, the ministry will pursue an improvement of water security for the site, as well as to contribute towards the development of the Mon Anglais Trail.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Fisheries has also pledged support for the continued development of horticulture in the island.
But the ministry recognizes floriculture as a very important component of its program. So important that as part of our expansion program or redevelopment or even the transformation of our agriculture, we are going to take, or we are taking a serious role in promoting floriculture as a component of agriculture. A lot has been spoken about the new hotels and the needs that they would have, and flowers is indeed one of the commodities that they would require.
Shirley Alexander, who was instrumental in putting the event together, says the Journée à Paradis will complement other activities in Jourdel and Egliston.
We are also working in collaboration with the Jourdel Egliston Flower Growers Group. It is intended that is Journée à Paradis to be one of the main activities for the independence season and a weekly activity on the flower show site from then on. Journée à Paradis will help to bring alive a long-standing project, the Jourdel Egliston Conservation and Economic Development Project, which was initiated by the Jourdel Egliston Flower Growers Group. Journée à Paradis has to offer everything that you dream of or love about Dominica. And we have other activities to come, including the Heritage Festival, which will be held in Egliston in April, and our renowned flower show market fair scheduled for Jourdel in May.
The Journée à Paradis, a two-day event, comes to an end on Saturday. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Small businesses in Dominica to benefit from a new product from the NDFD come next year. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
This is among plans of the National Development Foundation of Dominica, NDFD, as it continues to support the development of small and medium-sized entrepreneurs here. Executive Director of the NDFD, Cletus Joseph, says the new product will help the foundation's clients build sustainability.
In the next year, 2020, during the first half, we will be launching a new product that will in itself help our small business sector to build its sustainability and to assist in the protection and preservation of our physical environment as we seek to introduce our clients to renewable energy products and renewable energy services companies available, and therefore you will be hearing a little more.
Joseph was speaking at the opening ceremony of the 5th Creole in the Streets, organized by the NDFD on Friday. He says this event displays a wide array of Dominican products and showcases the importance of partnerships across the board.
If we look around during the course of the day, we see a variety of products and services on display. There are a number of partners also involved in ensuring that this activity is brought to fruition. Therefore, it means that there is significant collaboration between the NDFD and its partners, and therefore we recognize the need to have collaboration across all sectors, all agencies, be they government or private or otherwise.
And now we hear from some of the participants in this year's Creole in the Streets.
Our business name, the East Side Cassava Delicacies from the Kalinago territory, and our main focus here is cassava bread. Everything is cassava. We have those with coconut ginger with sugar, coconut with sugar, coconut no sugar, coconut ginger no sugar. We have those with plain, salt-free, smoked herring, cheese, raisin, guava jam, and cane syrup.
Now, what sort of exposure do you think being out here at Creole in the Streets would bring for your company?
Well, a lot of marketing for us, a lot of, you know, the diasporas who get to know more about us, and, you know, they will come and support our lives.
Is this your first time being at Curl in the Street?
Yes, our very first time. Yes.
And how have things been going for you so far this month?
So far it's great and everybody is enjoying it, so yeah, we're enjoying it.
We're producing decorative plants for the past, let's say, 19 years now. Yeah, we did get them severely destroyed by the hurricane, but we are trying to pull back up. So now we have our beginning productions, which are anthuriums and orchids, as you see here. And I just find that coming to this show, this NDF, the Buy Local exposition, or local display exposition, I find it quite interesting. I find it nice. I get my customers to pass by to see that what we have. And being in the midst of all of the other local producers kind of gives me impetus for me to continue going. It kind of makes me feel proud of being Dominican.
I'm Deborah Augustine. I'm a massage therapist, but also a counselor, and I have a master's of science, and I make chemicals from nature to help people with pain and relieve their anxiety. Well, today I'm supporting the Health and Wellness Association, and I'm just giving this for free. So it's a donation. I want them to know that there's different ways of managing pain and anxiety. So we're using to sit down and talk with a counselor. I'm a licensed counselor, and give them a little hand massage, encourage them to take care of themselves and their health.
These jewelry boxes and basically like organizers, things you can have your thing properly organized. You know, your pens, your pencils, your jewelries, anything you want to. Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, I started this August 2017. I just recently started.
Is this your first time at the NDF, the Creole in the Street?
Yes, it's my first time.
So I know it's still early in the day, but how would you say things are going so far?
Well, I guess it's more for the exposure, so as long as people can come and watch what you're doing, then it's okay.
So what do you hope to see at the end of the day?
Well, I basically do those things for fun, so as long as people can see what you do and appreciate it, and to show, you know, even if you with your disabilities, you know, you still have a mind that you could think and, you know, be creative and do things for yourself.
So we're showcasing the evolution of cocoa, because Dexia has just started the process of implementing our cocoa cluster development plan, which is an opportunity for us to export even more our cocoa and cocoa-related products. So we are now showing people how cocoa has evolved from the tree to the beans to the cocoa sticks and cocoa powder, the chocolate, and the cocoa chocolate punch, which are all made in Dominica. So we're showcasing the fine cocoa products of Dominica. So that is everything we have on our table. We have one of our clients with us showcasing her products that she does.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more when we come back.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. The Waterfront and Allied Workers Union is being accused of poaching. That's when one union recruits members of another union. Head of the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union, Leah Shillingford, says her union recently lost a number of its members to the WAU through poaching. The issue of the WAU poaching DAO members has reportedly severed relations between those two unions, which at one point operated from the same building. DAO has since moved out of the Hillsborough Street building.
While the DAO and the WAU have always, well, for the past 2 years, since 2003, shared office space and worked together in the same office, the same environment, the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union seem to be the one poaching mostly on the DAO's members. DAO has represented Whitchurch for more than 40 years. And the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, in the person of Curtis Augustus, even presently has some of the DAO members paying union dues to him at the office of WAU. No, I have specifically spoken to him about it, and I said I think it's very unprofessional that he should do that. And his response to me was then that the PSU did something to him that he was not happy about, and now he has no face.
Shillingford has also accused the WAU of targeting ground handlers at Douglas Charles Airport.
These workers are employed or hired by HHV Whitchurch Roseau, and they're also paid by Whitchurch Roseau. The idea has been that they're a sister organization, but they have benefited always from the collective labor agreement that exists between the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union and HHV Whitchurch. So for the past 40 years, ground handlers have been benefiting. Now, it appeared that recently a few members spoke to him about recognition. And I think he could have spoken to them about the DAO, but he chose not to do that. And what I think Mr. Augustus does to many of the workplaces, he knows the laws. So what he does is he simply writes to an organization, whether they're new, well, especially if they're new, and he says, I am writing to you for recognition, and if you do not respond within 2 weeks, I automatically represent the workers.
Shillingford says the Labour Division has supported the WAU's efforts to secure the membership of ground handlers. There's been a lot of discussion and expressions of support by trade union leaders here for a joint trade union congress. Shillingford says poaching continues to be a major obstacle to achieving this goal.
He has repeatedly pushed himself away. He will not join. Also, there was a time when invitation had been extended to the other unions for us to come together under one umbrella. And the Public Service Union with Mr. Later and his president, they did come. And we had 2 meetings, and we thought that the 3 of us together, DAO, WAU, and PSU, would be heading in a direction of uniformity, but Mr. Augustus pulled out. So it appears in all aspects that he does not want the unification. He does not want the umbrella organization. He prefers to work alone.
President of the Concerned Citizens Movement is issuing an appeal to Dominicans, regardless of their political affiliation, to join the CCM in its quest for electoral reform. The CCM held a news conference Friday ahead of its planned public meeting in Roseau on Saturday as part of its continuing campaign for electoral reform.
If we the people are united in our efforts, if we the people come under one umbrella and say, okay, setting aside all political partisan, whatever it is, we are united as Dominicans on that matter in terms of cleaning up our business as far as our electoral process is concerned, then the people, I say, is what will bring that desired result for all.
The CCM president is calling for a clean voters list, voter ID cards, campaign finance regulations, and equal access to state media. Another member of the CCM executive told Friday's news conference he believes protest action should be stepped up.
There should not be other meetings. There should just be civil disobedience. Every day there have to be some, and it should not be centralized, in Roseau. It should be island-wide to show government that, we are not going to back down. It's not something we should be begging for. We have begged for too long. Now we want to take it. Yes. So really and truly, my brethren, I know I have said that, look, Mr. Durand and other people, this fight is not for the faint-hearted, because these guys are backed in a corner and they are pushing back. They are backing us in a corner and we need to push back as well. There need to be a middle ground where we can meet and discuss and come to a common conclusion, amicably so. If not, the future is uncertain.
Meantime, the CCM president has denied reports that his court action has delayed the process towards electoral reform.
What my lawyer and I, Gilden Richards, we did is that I went to him on a personal note and I said, hey, here it is. The government is talking about trying to give the commission, the electoral commission, the power, the mandate to give to the people a card for voting called a national ID. I am of the conviction that a national ID is not and will not be in the best interest of Dominicans versus a voter's ID card that requires stipulations, that requires regulations. So I decided to take that matter to court, to have the commission declare to the Dominican people where or how can the government give it the permission to issue a national ID card versus a voter ID card in the interest of the people, knowing fully well that Gerald Dutton and the commissioners don't have what it takes now legally to issue national ID cards. That is why they want to go to court to get not court, sorry, go to parliament so that they can get the legislative legs to do that kind of a card. That is what is in the court, and as I said, it is from me, Loftus Durand, as a concerned citizen. So the talk out there, that is the movement that is stopping electoral reform. I want to repeat that that is a lie, and those peddling it must stop.
And as the Concerned Citizens movement prepares for another public meeting in the city on Saturday, in its continued quest for electoral reform, former press secretary under the Eugenia Charles administration says it's unusual that the CCM has itself sought to block some of the measures it has demanded that government implement.
The government one time proposed what seemed to be very logical. Okay, all these people are on the list who are living abroad. Why don't we send people overseas and verify whether in fact they're qualified to vote? UWP said, oh, that's Coco kind of business. They didn't trust what was going to happen there and so on. So it went nowhere. And of course, there were the violent incidents when government was going to make a lot of changes in the electoral thing, including this MID procedures, the new cards and this sort of thing. There was a little violence. Government decided to hold back. And that's where we stand. In fact, I heard, and I wasn't even aware of that, Mr. Astafan saying there's an injunction that none other than Mr. Loftus Durand had put forward. And the court had said, well, they're going to hold back on it because, in fact, at the time, government had withdrawn the sitting. They said they were going to have more consultation, which they did. But that injunction is still there, so that government cannot just easily go and have a parliamentary session that's going to talk about electoral changes in electoral laws, which some of them are now saying should happen. The Concerned Citizens Group are saying there need to be changed in legislation. The Attorney General has been saying that for ages, that we need changes in the law. And when we were going to Parliament to make the changes, you all didn't want it. Now you all are realizing, boy, that's a lot of the last opportunity we have. Okay, well, go to Parliament and change.
Bellot believes in the current political climate where the country is heading for an election with unresolved electoral reform issues and hints of civil unrest, there is room for some sort of accommodation.
I really believe that there should be some attempt to get the sides to engage. Talk. There can be no accommodation, no changes, no compromise, unless we are sitting with each other and whatnot. You know, you cannot write a letter, go to one radio station and propose that, and on the other side, on the other radio station, they're proposing something completely different, and so on. You've got to sit down together. What's going to make them do? We would hope some people with a little mediating experience and credibility, usually the church people. So hopefully the bishop, the Christian council may find a role there.
The Dominica Freedom Party has also continued to call for electoral reform, often collaborating with the UWP in making that call. But with general elections around the corner, the DFP remains the only political party which has not made any major headway in terms of launching of candidates.
They're irrelevant. You're talking about the Freedom Party. The Freedom Party is irrelevant at this stage. I view them as irrelevant. I doubt they will send a single candidate because he'll surely lose his deposit. So they're spent forth. I don't want to talk about the Freedom Party. They had their opportunities. They more or less tried to link up with the UWP, which was bad for genuine freedom. I said, no, we're not going to solve. Eugenia Charles, when she had to choose between support for Labour or support for UWP, she was quick to say, we're with Labour. We're not going to mix with those guys, and she didn't like the UWP people, and I think she was proved right.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Cultural enthusiast Dorothy Laurent wins the 2019 Madame Wobduyet title. Concerned Citizens Movement wants its appeal for electoral reform to transcend political party affiliation. And a sister union accuses WOW of poaching. Feel free to contact us at news@NewsFri18thOct2k19. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend.